you guys ever dated anybody off the internet? Well, some people are a little bit funky about doing that, and I can understand that. I can really understand it now, though. I'm going to tell you a story of two guys I met off the internet and how terribly wrong they went. The first guy, everything seemed okay with him. He seemed like a pretty nice guy. See for yourself.
Hey, baby. How you doing? God, you look good. Can't believe we're finally gonna hook up.
Seems pretty sweet, right? Wrong. Okay, so clearly that one did not go well. You'd think I would learn my lesson from that first guy, but no. I decided when I met guy number 2, I'd try it again. You never know. So, start things up with guy number 2. He seemed pretty cool, pretty chill. Everything seemed okay. Take a look for yourself. See? Looks like a pretty normal guy, right? Everything seems cool. Well, as things progressed, I finally said, you know what? Everything's going cool. Everything seems all right. So I think it's time to move this a little bit quicker, move forward a little bit with it. So this is what I decided to do. Hey, I got something to give you. I figured since you're over here all the time, you should probably have this. Something was just not right about this guy. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but something was off. It almost seemed like, some of my stuff was going missing. I just figured I was being suspicious, But didn't say anything. Didn't really worry about it too much. Well, one day I come home from work. Well, you go ahead and watch, and then you'll know.
Shit. Oh, shit. Oh, bitch, that taste.
Yep. So, what have we learned, guys? Internet dating? Just say no.
Yeah, I know she only saying that shit because I'm black, right?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Um, that video is from a friend of mine, Cinder Epinrella, and Bean Black Dude. Great friends that I met on the internet a long time ago, and they're actually personal friends, real close friends of mine to this day. Known them since I got on YouTube and Stickam about 16, 17 years ago. What's up, Bruce Gas? How you doing, brother? How you doing? Now, this is the type of comedy I was used to. You know, I was always involved in this type of comedy or this or other types and where you play roles and stuff, but we were able to have fun with it. And that was my comedic sense back then. And things have changed. Of course, things do change all the time. I'm feeling a little better, Bruce. I really am. Hopefully, I can have the surgery soon, but we'll see. But moving forward, just letting you know, this is what I'm used to. You know, there was no hate. It was all in fun. Everybody, knew it was a joke here and there. Nowadays, humor is not so clear. Unless you're a very popular comic who is immune to the cancel culture, things are different. Things are very different. And even the popular ones get held for some of the comments they make, who they might be associated with. But let's move forward. Now, I had made a comment on Nay's page. Nay was live. I like Nay. Nay's cool. I met her. I think it was on Miss Cat Medusa's stream and possibly Mel After Dark's stream as well. I met her through Jedi. Cool girl. And she also hangs out at Jedi's room and, always had nothing but nice things to say to her. And she was always very pleasant to me. But I was on Mel After Dark, or was it Mel's? Melanie Said So. I made a comment. It was response to this. Hold on a second, just so y'all understand. I'm gonna let this play in its entirety. Let me find it first. Here you go.
Wasn't flirting with no fucking half nigga fucking. You know that nigga's a cop. Electro G is a cop.
He had on the hat, and you was like, "Ooh, I love a man in a hat."
Electro G is a cop.
I don't give a fuck. You wanted him.
No, I was trying to befriend him because I wanted to find out if he was law enforcement, and now I know. He's using her fucking chat to get Jaguar Right intel because he's a motherfucking federal informant and an agent. Why don't y'all understand that there's real law enforcement on this fucking app?
Underneath the neon lights, he walks a lonely beat. Detective shades and tailored suits, hiding in the heat. But when the night is falling and the city starts to hum, he's the shadow on the corner, the enforcer on the run. Every day he's living on the edge, a secret world that no one knows. When the sirens fade away, he's just a man who's got to play the role. He's Electro Jet, sorry, Electro G. He's got the moves, he's got the style, he's got the mystery. From the dark alleys to the midnight streets, he's the lawman you never see. Late nights and whispered deals, secrets in the air. A federal badge and a loaded gun, he's always prepared. But when the danger calls him and the thrill starts to rise. He's the one who walks the wire, the truth behind the lies. Every day he's dancing up a line, a double life, a hidden code. But when the stars begin to fade, he's just a man who's got to take control. He's Electro-Jet, sorry, Electro-G. He's got the moves, he's got the style, he's got the mystery. From the dark alleys to the midnight streets, he's the lawman you never see. In the heart of the city, where the secrets unfold, he's a player in the game, a story left untold. But when the truth comes knocking and the past comes to call, he's the one who stands tall. He's the hero after all. He's Electro-Jet, sorry, Electro-G. A smooth jazz cop, a secret federal agent, can't you see? He's got the moves, he's got the style, he's got the mystery. From the dark alleys to the midnight streets, he's the lawman you'll never see. Underneath the neon lights, he fades into the dawn. A man of honor, a man of steel, but the mask is finally gone. He's the Electro-G, the secret's out for all the world to see. A smooth jazz hero living in secrecy.
So you get the gist. My close friend Melissa Melza wrote that for me as that conversation was going on between Jaguar Right and Incoming Opinion, in which I actually want to thank them both because I actually liked the song that Melza wrote and the way it was put together. I like it. And I can laugh at myself. I can sit there and laugh at myself. A lot of people have difficulty with that. A lot of people cannot laugh at themselves and they don't have a sense of humor. What's up, Rob Unreal? How you doing, brother? Okay, so now Jaguar Right had said some real vile stuff about me. And I basically, you guys know me from the boxing community. Y'all know me. A lot of shit just bounces off. Sometimes I do get into it with a few people. You know, first name comes to mind is Mick Smith. Y'all seen me get into it with Mick Smith because he's always going at me or my wife or something like that. And I'll get into it real heated with him. That's really about it. But I'm not infallible. I'm very fallible. And I'm only human. And I will, if I say something out of anger, sometimes it's usually you say things that you don't really mean, or you say shit that you'll regret later. Okay. I do not like clapping back in anger because for that reason. But when I was in Melanie After Dark, or Melanie Said So's stream the other day, this was less than a week ago, Jaguar Right, went on there. And you can tell that she was just she was trying to manipulate the situation. And she had made some comments about me. So I let my emotional side get a hold of me because I had a lot of things going on that day, a lot of personal stuff going on with the family, and everything just compounded that day into that moment. And I went off on Jaguar Right. And I had gone off of her. Usually I've never said a bad thing about her. Never, I held my voice. I held myself from saying anything because I wanted to get all sides of the story before I made any kind of judgment about her myself. But this day was different because I wasn't having it, and she was there trying to manipulate the situation and trying to take advantage of Melanie. And I wasn't sure, and I should have known better. I wasn't sure if Melanie understood that, but later on I figured out, yeah, she got that. Melanie got that. She got that covered. But I said some disparaging remarks about Jaguar Right. And one of the remarks I said was about her lips. I said she had some, what's up, Veronica? She had some big old soup coolers. Now, the term soup cooler I learned back from the 80s. The first place I heard it was off of an album. I didn't hear it off the album, but I heard it about the album. It was a Rolling Stone album where he has the big lips on there with the tongue hanging out. And that's the first time I heard, damn, those some big old soup coolers. Right now, I said that Jaguar Right had some big old soup coolers, black gums, looked like she had cancer for breath. I just went off, and I said these things, and I shouldn't have said them because I should have kept that to myself. It's not that I said anything wrong, but it was a humorous statement. I just wanted to jab at her the way that she jabbed at me because she called me a fat midget. Well, yeah, I'm only 5'5", and I am kind of fat. So what am I going to say about that? So I made an obvious remark about the size of her lips, and I made a disparaging remark about how bad her breath must smell. Yeah, what's up, Technique? How you doing? Now, usually I don't insult people. It's not my thing. I'm not good at it. I feel guilty afterwards, and I felt guilty right then and there at the show. I apologized right away in Melanie's show. Sorry that I went off like that. I didn't mean to, but I was just, she had me feeling some sort of way. And I know I shouldn't do that, but I did, and it's in the past. But now, let's fast forward to the next day. I went to Nay's stream again. Nay, I was cool with Nay. I thought she was a sweetheart, always been nice, and always has a nice thing to say. And I went on Nay's stream, and I was typing in there because somebody had mentioned. I was in her chat. Someone had mentioned that I had went off on Jag, and then I started commenting, saying that was the wrong thing to do. What's up, Eric? How you doing, brother? And I was saying that was the wrong thing to do. And you should never go off on somebody when you're emotional. But because it's in chat, it could be taken out of context and taken out of order. So I think that name might have gotten it out of order and might have got some, felt some sort of way about it. So that's fine. Then I come to find out, apparently, soup cooler. Somebody was telling me that's a racist remark. Not that I know of. Do you guys know of it as a fucking racist remark? Because that's what I was getting reamed for. Saying that she had some big old soup coolers. Now, as far as I know, and when I said it, it wasn't meant as I don't give a fuck what color she is. I don't care. I just think that the person, the individual, is a very negative person, and she's always got something bad to say. You know, I mean, she has put interesting content out there about revealing what's going on in the music industry and stuff like that, which which is good. But as a person, she can be quite vile at times, and you can tell that she's a manipulating type of character. But I held my opinion to myself up until that day. Now, this is why I said I got some splaining to do. If you guys think that was a racist remark, please let me know. Because if people didn't know, I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. And if you know what Dominicans look like, Dominicans can be they're mistaken for African American quick, because they're usually dark complected. They're usually, they have African American features. My complexion is much lighter than my brother. My brother, God rest his soul, who died back in the 90s. He was murdered, by the way. And he looks like the typical Dominican or African American. I, on the other hand, I am very light complected. I have features, I have obvious features, but I do not have the complexion. And I have dealt with that my entire life. All right. I have dealt with not being black enough, not being Puerto Rican enough, not being Hispanic enough. Now, mind you, this is not the pity Olympics. I'm not trying to say pity me or anything like that, but I had a hard time being accepted in any of the groups that I prefer to hang out with. And I took my anger out on whites. And I was prejudiced against white people at that time. Growing up, I had a lot of hate for white people. Now, I'm not that way anymore. What's up, Prime? Fuck off. I'm not that way anymore because with age comes wisdom. And I am a lot more tolerant of things that I was not tolerant back in the day when I was 20 and stuff like that. But this kind of shocked me when I got, just straight out accused of making racist statements. And I'm wondering, is that statement true? Was that a racist remark? I don't think it was. It wasn't meant in a racist way. It was meant as just hitting her with something like she hit me because, boo. Shut up, Prime. Prime says Hispanics are white. Okay. All right, Prime. But I wanted to clear this up. So I went on to Nay's live panel, and I got up there to explain what I was typing because, it can be taken out of context. I explained what I was typing, and I said, you should never, and I said, I have no excuse for going off on Jag the way I do the way I did when I was emotional. You should never do that when you're emotional because you'll end up either saying something wrong or doing something wrong. Never make a decision based on emotion because it always ends up doing worse. And that's basically how I live. Now, do I make that mistake a lot? Hell yeah. I don't know a person out there that doesn't fuck up like that. But I wanted to clear the air and say, I apologize for doing that the way I did it on Melanie's show, but I did it in Nay's show, in Nay's stream. Now, I was, hold on, let me put this out there. You're white in my opinion. Yeah, a lot of people think I'm white, but let's make it, clear and abundantly clear. I'm not white. I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. I'm Hispanic, but this question wouldn't come up if I was the same complexion as my brother. God rest his soul. This wouldn't even be brought up. Now, there's been a lot of drama that's been going on in the section that I've been hanging out with. I guess they call it the T section or whatever it is. But I've been liking hanging out with Melanie Jones because she has, she does segments called Melanie After Dark, and we talk about random stuff. And I like going up there talking about stuff that I did in my past life. And I have a lot of experience being 58, going to be 59 soon. I have a lot of experience, and I like sharing stories, and I like making people laugh. And a lot of the stories that I share make people laugh, and I love to make people laugh, even if it's at the cost of me, even if they're laughing at me, in which I don't mind. So I say all this because the type of humor and the comments I made were not meant in a racist way. It was derogatory, most definitely. It was derogatory towards Jag because she didn't care what she said about me. I'm a fat midget, and I'm a cop, and I'm a federal agent. If anyone that knows me personally or knew me in the past, boy, they would laugh at that one. Like, really? That motherfucker? But you were way off. But it is what it is. Hold on a second. Copy. But before you come up, I want to say something, right? So, because I was planning on saying this. Now, there's been a lot of drama going on in this section, and it's between people that I like. And if you guys remember, I went through some stuff. Me and another channel got into it. Well, we didn't get into it. There was a miscommunication or misunderstanding, whatever the case may be. But people tried to get me to go at this other channel, and I wouldn't. I would always deflect or go a different way with it because I'm not going to feed into that type of drama. I hate seeing friends go at it, especially people I like. If I like you, I think there's something that about you that's salvageable, even if everybody else hates you. And I give everyone a chance. Everyone gets breaks with me. In fact, I catch a lot of shit with how many breaks I give out there. That being said, I've seen mistakes happen, and I've seen miscommunication happen, and I've seen people go through shit on YouTube that they shouldn't go through because of a misunderstanding. And Mel, Mel, this is to you, sweetheart. I love the hell out of you, but I think you made a mistake. I really do, and I'm going to say it here because I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable position over there on your channel. But I think you made a mistake. And I think mistakes were made on both sides, and I think you should just let that shit go. Let it roll off. Just let it roll off. Now, what mistakes I'm not getting into, but I think you are a good person, and I love the hell out of you because you have made me laugh. You make me feel comfortable when I hang out on your channel. And there is no doubt about that. I have nothing but love and appreciation, admiration, and respect for you. But everybody makes mistakes, myself included. I think the stuff that happened between you and Jelly, I think, in my personal opinion, that was a miscommunication, a misunderstanding, and I wish to God that y'all could work it up. But if y'all can't, know this, I'm still going to respect you, and I'm still going to respect Jelly, and I really think that both of you could work it out. You don't know how many times Jelly fucking defended you tooth and nail. That girl, she defended you like nobody's business. And I could understand that she feels a certain way. She had your back the whole time. She really did. And like I said, I think it was a miscommunication or something was lost in translation. I really, I'm sorry. Hold on. No, you didn't. Oh my God, no, you didn't. Did you really put that up there?
Hello.
Hey, hi, sweetheart. How you doing? Hold on. Let me do something here real quick. I gotta check something out.
Can you guys hear me?
No, I hear you just fine. Can you hear me? Okay.
I hear you now. Okay, Electra, let me tell you
All right.
something.
All right. Let me get the.
Let me wait.
I know. I know. I got
I'm not
somebody
gonna cuss you
waiting.
out. Oh, okay, cool.
I got somebody waiting. All right. All
Okay.
right. Who's backstage? I need to see something. Hold on a second. I'll add you up. Who's this?
Are you a fat bastard?
Oh,
Are
fuck
you a
off.
fat bastard?
I am a fat bastard. Yes, I am.
Are you a
Do you
fat
have any?
bastard?
Do you have anything other to
You
add?
fat
Anything
bastard?
else to add than fat bastard?
You big fat bastard?
No. You gotta come up with better. Sorry about that, Jelly. Go ahead, sweetheart.
Okay.
It's all you.
Melanie is a toxic person. Melanie talked about me in Eclipse and started this shit with me. It's cost us our friendship because you don't understand what she's doing. And if you do understand what she's doing, then you don't stand up as a friend. It's going to look some type of way whenever you go over there and she says to you, "Oh, thank you, Electro, because you pick where you sit and you chose to sit over here." Well, if you chose to sit over there, then what does that say to me as your friend? You're not, you know what I'm saying? You don't want anybody to blow up or be upset, but this girl has called me outside my name just like Jag did you. And she did worse. She posted personal private stuff. So then I had to lay everything out on the table.
I salute Jed, man. What you think of the Terence Crawford fight, bro?
How come everybody got silent all of a sudden?
No, because I forgot I had my mic on. Hold on a second. Technique. I apologize. I was talking. I was talking, and I thought I had my mic unmuted. I'm gonna keep it on this subject because this was actually the reason why I went live because I wanted to clear the air on a couple of things. But I want to keep it on this subject, and I'll talk about the Crawford fight as soon as we're done here. So I'll bring you back up when we're done here. All right.
Yeah, go on. I'll drop out then. All right. Peace
All
out.
right,
Peace out.
brother. I'll talk to you later. All right. So I'm sorry, Jelly. Please finish.
That's all I'm saying, Jed. What I'm saying is, whenever she's talking about me, she's calling me Smucker's jelly, saying thinking it's cheap when she doesn't understand that it's more expensive. Okay, like she needs to stop making fucking fun of me, and then wondering why I keep on with her. I've asked twice now. I've bowed out. I have said, "Leave me alone." And what does she do? She keeps talking about me. So you
I
think I'm not gonna blow up like you did about Jag just calling you a cop? This girl has called me everything you can imagine, Jed. And then you go sit with her knowing what she did to me and knowing that it was wrong and then let her say, "Oh, you chose where you sit over here." Is that what you choose, Jed? Because she's trying to turn you against me just like she did everybody else. She's using you as a weapon just like she does everybody else. Stop fucking acting like Melanie is not the problem. Melanie is 100 million% the problem. 100 million. I love you. You're like family to me. Why would she say you chose to sit over there? Why would she think that's okay? Because I want to tell you something. If anybody talked about you, anybody in your absence or in your presence, I would still defend you, Jed, because that's how I am. Because I thought we had a relationship where you wouldn't do something like that would hurt me the way that it did. If you wanted to stay out of it, you should have stayed out of it 100%. You're over there with Melanie talking to Melanie, and you act like she didn't do anything wrong. Nay got mad because Melanie did her wrong. Don't talk about Nay bad. Nay got mad because Melanie fucked her over. Don't talk about Io. Io got mad because Melanie fucked her over. These are things Melanie did. Stop promoting this behavior. Stop acting like it's okay because she continues it because people think that it's okay. which is why I stood up and said that it wasn't. What she was doing was not okay. She was telling me to lie. She was telling me to do all these things. It's not okay, Jed. It's not. So when I stopped talking to her, you hit me up and you asked me about Melanie. And what did I tell you? I told you I don't talk to her. Did I say anything bad? No. Did I gossip? No. I could have, because you're my people. You know what I'm saying? I could have been like, oh no, I don't talk to that bitch. Fuck that bitch. X, Y, and Z. I didn't. I was respectful until she disrespected me. She's not fucking perfect, and I'm not gonna sit here and listen to how all of these things conspired and Melanie not take responsibility. Fuck that shit and fuck Melanie. I'm tired. I'm tired, Jen. I love you. I hope that you figure out what the fuck, and I hope that you see what you see. You said you had to see what you had to see about Jag, and then you went off on Jag. Just because Melanie's not doing something to you doesn't mean that she can continuously do it to people that love you, and then you just choose to sit at her table. Those are her words, Jen. And if that's the table you choose to sit with, what? I'm supposed to just, okay, that's cool. I wouldn't let anybody ever do anything to you. If another girl, especially if a girl, like if I would have been there and Jag would have been on that thing and she would have said that shit, I would have went off on Jag defending you, because that's who I am. That's how I am. And I'm sorry, but you can't play the peacemaker. You can't play kumbaya. You can't. You just can't do that, Jen, because there is right and there is wrong. And if you think what she did was right, then you choose to sit at that table. But if you think what she did is wrong, then you should say, hey, Melanie, what the fuck you did is wrong. Why did you do that to Jelly? You don't. You don't hold your friends accountable. You hold me accountable, though. Because when I called you and talking about the girl, telling you all the things that she did, you already knew what was going on. I called you. We talked forever. As a matter of fact, you have our conversation on StreamYard. And you can share that shit, too, because I'm all about the truth. I don't fucking like liars. I don't. I never came at you in a way for you to have to pick sides. I never came at you like that. She's the one that said you pick sides.
I didn't hear that, but yeah.
I don't know if you want me to stay up here. I will. Yeah, she did.
No,
She did. She said, and Electro. It was not only just her. It was her and Goomba. She said, Electro, thank you, for not just rocking with somebody because you know him. Thank you for choosing to sit at our table.
Did you hear the beat? Did you
from what you told me, you didn't choose to sit at anybody's.
Right.
No, I just popped in on you talking about Melanie. I didn't know if you talked about me or not.
Did you hear what I said, though?
Did you talk about me? Because I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear
when?
What I said.
I'm saying
when I started this whole conversation, I'm going to go back over it right now. All right. Here's the thing.
Thank you.
I said, I'm going to repeat it. I said that mistakes have been made because I wanted to use myself as an example. You should never, because I did it when I went off on Jag. I apologize for going off on Jag because I shouldn't have done it when I was in an emotional state. And I was in an emotional state for stuff that had nothing to do with Jag at all. It was just everything that happened and accumulated. Well, let me finish. Because you heard, I let you go.
I'm just letting you know I did hear that. I'm just letting you know. I know. I'm just letting you know I did hear you. I didn't think that I had heard that part, but yes, I did. Go ahead.
But I said you should never make a comment or go off of someone when you're in an emotional state because you might do or say something you'll regret later on, and that's usually how it happens. All right, and that's why I used myself as an example, and I opened up the stream with the conversation between Income and Opinion and Jag that I added on to the song so people can get the whole, a bigger picture of the whole thing. And I laughed at it because I thought it was extremely funny for someone to think I'm a cop. So I used it as humor. All right. Now, my whole point when I started everything is this is the humor I'm used to. Of being able to poke fun at yourself, poke fun at others, and you don't have to worry so much about it. Now, I also said there was some sort, and this is what I feel. There's some sort of miscommunication or missed dialogue or a mistake was made where a perfectly good friendship because I just made the statement that you were an absolutely ride or die for Mel. When I first started going to Mel, you were a ride or die because you had her back 100%, and something happened. What happened?
She got jealous. She talked about me. That's what happened, Jed.
No. But
I
this
did have her back 100%. I didn't
Jelly,
start this. Nothing.
Jelly. This is a me time because that's how you notice I didn't say anything when you talked. I just want you to get an understanding of where I'm coming from.
I got you. Go ahead, Jed.
All right, so I said this at the beginning of this in the first part of the stream that I think a mistake was made, and I think there was miscommunication, misunderstandings, and mistakes were made. And I wish that the two people that I like, which is you and her, because you guys work well together. Something happened, and I'm going to say this now. This is the first time I'm going to say it, and I hope she's hearing it. Both of you turned on each other way too quick. Way too quick. I know you feel justified. And in my opinion, you are justified because that's how you feel. But then if I feel that way about you, I also have to feel she might feel justified in what happened. She had a lot on her plate. I am not making excuses for her. But like I said, when you make decisions on an emotional state, you make mistakes. That's how come I don't give up on people. I always try to look at the other side of the story or see what could have possibly gone on recently in their lives that might affect their decision making. Now,
that doesn't mean you can abuse somebody.
Nothing you said was wrong, Jelly. Nothing you said was wrong. Please understand, I'm saying nothing you said was wrong. But I'm not a quitter. I won't give up on people that easily. Friendships are too hard to come by. True friendships are too hard to come by. And if you just give up and you call it a day, you don't know what you might be missing out on later. You two got along and you did have her back. 100%. I was there for the conversations backstage with you. You had her back. And maybe she didn't see that. And if she didn't see that, there is, no communication there. And maybe, just maybe, you were asking for something that she wasn't paying attention to. Or if she did, she overshot it or just fucking zoned it out because of whatever. I'm just not the type to give up, Jelly. That's it. I don't give up. I'm not going to turn on a dime for anybody. And I will burn before I join the masses. I will burn. I will make sure I suffer as much as possible before I go with the mob mentality. I will never join the mob mentality because the mob is mostly wrong most of the time.
That's not wrong this time, Jed.
But see, you're saying that not this time. Maybe if you just communicate with her.
I tried to. Jed, I tried to. I messaged her. I tried to talk to her. I messaged her to leave me out of her show because she already put me in it talking about me. And then the very next day she put me in it. And then she's talking about everybody, doing stuff to everybody. It's not a mob mentality. She's done wrong to all these people. And all these people are saying stuff. I'm going to let you go. I don't want to argue with you. I love you, Jed. You're sitting at the wrong table, though, if that's the table that you choose, which is what she said. Which is what she said. Not you. Not you said. Melanie said. Trying to get me and you fighting. And it succeeded. But it's not going to keep succeeding. I love you. I'm dropping down. I'm not fighting with you, but it's not.
Before you go, let me say this. I'm not choosing any tables.
Then she shouldn't have said you did. That's your friend. Right. You tell her.
You're right, and I will bring it up. I said, please,
thank you.
Her, don't involve me in that because I'm not going to get involved in that. I want you guys to work it out.
It'll never work out because Jen, it wasn't just a I give up on you thing. I want you to understand that. I don't give up on people easily either. But when you're telling me to lie and then all these people are coming out and they're saying, no, she lied about this and she lied about that. So I'm knowing that you're my friend and I'm knowing that you're lying. And then when I say I don't want to be in it, the reason I said I didn't want to be in it is because I didn't want to have to be like, yeah, you're a liar, Melanie, because I didn't want to do that. And whenever I tried to bow out and just say, hey, I'm not in this, I was not in this. I had, you know what I'm saying? I tried to just say, I'm not in this. And when she did it again, yes, because she's done that to everybody that's got the problems with her. It's not a mob mentality. Melanie just has that many problems. She's crazy. I don't understand why she's acting the way that she does. I was a good friend to her. You're right. I was there every week as much as I could be until I got sick. And you know that. And I know that. She took that for granted, and it's not just in a moment. She always took it for granted. She was always asking me to get you to go on that panel. She was always asking me to get Jedi to go on that panel. She was always asking me to do her favors. But what did she do for me? Let me tell you what happened. I said, hey, I want to start my channel. Do you have any good ideas for apps? Just like I did with you, editing apps. Guess what? That got unanswered. The next thing I got from her was a link to watch a live that she had going on. So then I asked her if she would still wanted to. We had talked about her doing an interview. I said, I'm going to go ahead and start up. Are you still down to do an interview? Probably about 20 minutes. And, you know, I'll send you the questions ahead of time so you have time to think about what you want to say and be prepared. Guess what? Unanswered. Hey, Jelly, you going to be on the panel tonight? Yep, I'll be there for you, Mel. I got your back 100%. Hey, Jelly, they're doing XYZ to me. I'm sorry for that, Mel. I got your back 100%.
I've
Hey.
been in that exact boat though. Like I've been asked to show up on panels, and sometimes I don't answer because I'm sick or something, like you were. Sometimes, and it actually ended up creating an issue between me and another content creator because they thought I was ignoring them, but they didn't understand what was going on in my real life. All right, just like maybe there's something going on where she missed it. I'm not saying there was, but if you guys communicate, I'm not saying go ahead and talk. If you're dead set on not working it out with her, I get it. You feel slighted enough that you don't want to try. That's fine.
Can I talk about the wrench real quick? The wrench, just so I can get this out. The wrench. I asked for a wrench early on. She said she didn't need moderators. And even after she said that she didn't need moderators, I continued to do all the things moderators do. I continued to run her numbers. I continued to make sure everything was fine. I continued to do everything that a moderator does. So she says, oh, you're pissed off because I didn't make you a moderator. You didn't make me a moderator. After you already told me that, I still helped you. I didn't start really helping her until after she told me that. So it wasn't about a wrench. It was about you're taking advantage of me and acting like you're my friend, and clearly you're not, because she turned on me in a dime whenever I told her to leave me alone. That's turning on somebody on a dime. I didn't turn on her on a dime. She's had 2 months of telling me to lie. She's had 2 months of talking about everybody, and then she has the audacity to get on a live and say my name. Tell me, fuck you, bitch. You ain't shit, bitch. Come do something, bitch. Well, let me tell you, New York meets Chicago, baby, because it could be that way. You already know, Jen. And I did call you and talk about this relationship. And you did make me feel like I should fix that friendship. You did. And then I said, no, it's not right no matter what. I'm not fixing that. I don't want that person in my life. Especially now that she's trying to get me and you fighting by saying you choose to sit at her table. I'm the head of my table, so I don't give a shit. If you don't, I know what I bring to it. But for her to say that, I love you. You're my dear friend. For her to say you chose that, that's what made me so upset, because she's trying to use you and weaponize you, Jed.
No one's gonna use me or what's up, Jedi?
That's what she did. Exactly what she did.
But see, you could say whatever you want about me. It's my actions that.
No, I'm saying it about her. I'm saying she weaponized you and your mentality that you're not going to get in it or you don't want to be in it. Whenever she puts you in it and says you picked a side, that's her putting you in it, not me. I came to you as a friend and talked to you. I didn't say anything horrible. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm sitting here absorbing everything that you're saying and understanding your side. And
All right, I'm gonna let you talk. I'm sorry.
I'm also saying that when people do things when they're in an emotional state, this is why I try not to do it. I'm fallible, just like everybody else. People make mistakes. People,
You apologized. You apologized. She's not apologizing. She's unapologetic. She keeps it going. You apologized. That's what I'm saying. You got mad. You said some things. You never talk to women like that, Jed. She's making you somebody that you're not. I'm telling you. I'm telling you this. You said I have to see on my own about Jaguar. You saw on your own and you flipped the fuck out on her. Melanie is Jaguar Jr. Welcome to that shit. She is.
no,
I wouldn't lie. You know I wouldn't
yeah,
lie.
yeah, I know. But the reason why I apologized was not for what I said, not for what I, not for flipping on her, is for doing it in an emotional state.
Okay, Melanie, apologize for acting out in an emotional state. Melanie.
And I'm saying maybe, just maybe, there's things going on in the background nobody knows about. And
Bro,
she might
look,
just
no,
be.
no, no. I'm sorry, bro. Look, Jed, look. The problem is she thought a nigga liked her, bro, and he ain't fucking want her. She thought wrong. She feeling stupid. She also felt invaded because IO was with the dude that she was fucking modding under, which is JR, and we all know him, right? No disrespect. I just, you know what I mean? So now she want to come up with these stories and be all fucking mad and shit, like if the dude was trying to talk to her and he wasn't. Meanwhile, she's mad and fucking blocking people, telling Jelly to block people. You know what I'm saying? And to say that it's IO, like, come on, bro. Yo, bro. Listen, I understand what you're trying to do, but the whole thing is what you're not understanding is when she said that you are sitting at that table, son. Like that's why
I
everybody
didn't hear
sees it
that.
like
Now
that.
I'm gonna have to check
Well,
out
you're
that
gonna
recording.
have to. You're gonna have to because people ain't just gonna say shit. Look, Dred, we're all grown. That's number one.
Right.
Number two, people that come like me and Jelly and stuff, when we tell you things, it's like you just on some shit where let me let it happen first to see if they right. And then when it happens to you, the same people that looked out for you gotta hear the fucking regret. And that's the thing you gotta understand, bro. Like, we didn't tell you to choose. Melanie is telling everybody because if everybody is sitting in somewhere else that she don't get along with, do you think that's right? Let's just say me and you have beef and we got the same following. You think that it's right if I was to come out and say if whoever sits with Jed, I'm if I see you over there, I'm cutting you off? Bro, she put me in it by doing that. She put a lot of people, besides her talking shit, a lot of people by doing that. So what do you, this not a mob mentality. This ain't no thing where it's like, oh, I'm not going to join them because everybody's hating. Bro, forget about the people that are looking on in. It's a lot of people by itself with her talking behind their backs. Now, the reason why this came about was because Jelly just simply told her, I don't want anything to do with this, Melanie. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. I want out. All right. You know what I'm saying? Melanie got mad and she put the private messages out. Why did she do that? I don't give a fuck what mental state you're in, bro. Why would you do that? You see, you don't have the answer to. I don't give a fuck what's going on.
It's not
I'm
that
just
I don't have
saying.
an answer. I let you finish your
My
thing.
friend, look, my friend, what I'm saying here is no matter how much you're gonna argue it, it's wrong, bro. It's wrong, right? And people that are you're gonna wind up getting hurt because she's gonna flip on you too. You don't think she's watching this live? You don't think she's gonna see this live? That when you go up there, oh, so I heard you were throwing in the bro. She's gonna make you feel like that. That's the way she is, bro. There's no saving. Sometimes, Jed, you just can't save people, bro. Sometimes you gotta let motherfuckers go. And if, whether it's one person, two person, 10 people to the 20th power telling you, I think the masses would be right, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, you gotta understand here. Like she wronged a lot of people and she wronged Jelly. All Jelly wanted to do was live her life, bro. And she came out and said, oh, fuck that. And why would she put recordings out, bro? Jelly just said, I don't want nothing to do with this. I'm gone, blah, blah, blah. What right did she have putting private conversations and trying to make it look like, right? Trying to make it look like Jelly was talking shit about the fucking sector. Meanwhile, it was really Melanie. You see? So now the retaliation came in, and it wasn't a retaliation of bitterness or it was a retaliation where she had to clear her name. Because she's gonna be podcasting in that sector and in ours, and you gotta understand, she gotta have a good reputation. Why would Melanie try to do that? You see what I'm saying? Trying to take the heat off of her. But regardless of the fact that heat is still on her. So now when you're sitting up there with her and she's going through arguments and you're just sitting there, you know what I'm saying, innocently, people are gonna throw you in. And if people don't throw you in, she's going to, because you didn't say anything. Either way, bro, with her, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, my man. I'm dead ass. And you know me, I'm always right about these things. And I don't want to be right now because I know you liked her. I liked her. Everybody liked her, bro. She was the fucking, you know what I'm saying? She was the sweetheart of the fucking sector. Like everybody looked at her like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's Mel, the protector, And now all of a sudden it's like, she just, I don't know, because of the JR. Now she's to talk, you know what I'm saying? Saying that people flipped on her when people didn't flip on her. In the beginning, nobody flipped on her. It was between her, the JR, the IO shit, and then she started coming out and mentioning other fucking people. And then she did the shit to Jelly, and then the shit got worse. And then from there, she just kept on and kept on and kept on and kept on with other people. Nobody's hating on this woman. This woman she's crashing out. I can understand what you're saying, that maybe she got something into her, but the internal stuff is that she looks stupid simply because you know what I'm saying? She got turned down in public, basically, and she played herself.
She got turned down because poo.
Prime, this is not the time, Prime. Get out of here, you troll. God damn it. Prime, you got the worst timing. You know who that is. What?
Melanie, you're watching. Melanie, come up on Jed's panel. Melanie, go on Jedi's channel. Melanie, go on One of Cat's channel whenever she's live. Melanie, go anywhere. Go anywhere I have a wrench and come and explain yourself, and I'll explain myself. And I'll talk to you. I'll tell you I don't want to be your friend, and I don't like you, and I want you to leave me alone. And you can say the same thing to me, and then stand by your word. You tell her to come up here, Jed. And tell her if she's going to talk about somebody and it's going to fly like that, get your ass up here, girl. Stop. She wouldn't even drop a link for me whenever she did that. When she called me out my name, I said, drop the link. Just like I did with you. And you dropped it. She wouldn't drop it. Why? Because she knew what was going to happen when she dropped it. Don't talk about somebody and not drop a link for them to defend themselves, because that's cowardly shit. I've called her out on several panels. So, Melanie, if your bitch ass is listening, please hit this link and finish this shit right now. Hit the link and finish it. If you don't want the drama and you're not using me for content and you're not using everybody for content to try to make you look like you're woe is me, Melanie, hit the fucking link, Melanie. Somebody message Melanie. Get up here, Melanie. We're tired of arguing over you. I'm going to say what I have to say to your fucking face, but you keep dodging me.
Okay. Well,
just come up on the panel. She's not. She won't.
All right. But let me ask you this. All right. Yeah. Here's what you're proposing is not unfair. At the same time, it's not unfair, but at the same time, it's something that people aren't going to feel comfortable.
What was unfair is talking about me and then not dropping a link. That's what's unfair.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I get where you're coming from. All right, but just like I ran into a situation last night where I was called up to come on to a panel. Now, the only reason I didn't go up there is because just by the tone and just by, the conversation that was coming on, I already knew that it was just going to be a pounce on Jed. Now, I can take it. I can get pounced on all day. It don't matter to me. But I refuse to go up there. Right? And even Jedi said, I said, no, I wasn't planning on going up there. Now, I would talk with Incoming Opinion. I got no problem talking with Incoming Opinion. But it would have to be in a situation where I know that nobody's got control. I would like to be able to say what I have to say. And if you got to still chew me out, then chew me out. That's fine.
That's why I told Melanie to come here. That's why I told her to come here. So I can say what I need to say. I'm saying, and it'll be controlled. It's your podcast. It's your channel. If you want to drop me, you can. Just the same thing I told Jedi. You can drop me whenever, if it gets too hot and I keep talking over her or something. You have the opportunity to drop me. You didn't want to go. You didn't want to go up there and say anything, but you didn't say anything about everything she does that's supposed to be private and not public. You didn't want to go up there without any padding. You didn't want to go up there whenever it's going to be negative and they're going to attack you. Shut the hell up, whoever that is. So yes.
Well, hold on a second. If you're going to join the conversation, then join the conversation. If you're not going to join the conversation, then leave. Thank you. I hope I didn't kick Jedi. Jedi, did I boot you? I was trying to mute that person. What I'm talking about here? See, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. I'm saying you have the right to feel the way you do. You absolutely do. You feel slighted, and I got no problem with that.
I
And
didn't tell her you were sitting at my table, Jed. She told me you
right,
were
right.
sitting at her table. She's
And here's the
weaponizing. Is that weaponizing you? I'm asking you. Is that
I think
weaponizing you?
I think that is taking advantage of a situation.
Thank you. And my point to you is
But
that you haven't heard everything. You
but
haven't been
I'm
there
also
to
going to
see. And
confront her about it. But I'm also
but you haven't though, and that's why everybody's
no
on
because
you,
I can
because
feel
they
you
think you're on
talking
her
just
side,
now.
because she perpetuated that.
No,
She
but
said that. So now everybody's on you because she said he chooses to sit at my table. Thank you. And Goomba was like, yeah, thank you for choosing our
jelly,
table. That's why everybody's mad at you, Jed. That's
jelly,
why.
jelly. All right. First of all, I just now found out about that. All right. Just now when you told me a couple of minutes ago, I just now, and I will have a conversation with her because I'll state it here and state it clearly. I am still your friend and I'm still her friend, but I'm going to tell her, I'd rather you guys talk. If y'all don't talk, then stop talking about each other, period. You're right. She shouldn't be mentioning you at all.
I
At
did stop
all.
talking about her. I went on Miss Jones' channel, Miss Joan Uncut, and I got
Uh-huh.
up there and I said, Melanie, I don't want to have to be in this drama. I don't want to put you through anything else. I don't want to have to keep releasing this stuff for you to leave me alone. And she still, again, put me in that. Again, they sit there and they run me down and they say everything bad you could ever imagine. And you think I'm going to be like, kumbaya like you. There's a part of me that's like you. There's a part of me that's like Jedi. And I tried to be nice and I tried to dead it on Miss Joan Uncut. I said, I don't want to be a part of this. This is the last time I'm going to speak on this. As long as she leaves me alone, I will leave her alone. That's what I said, Jed. What'd she do? She put me in a fucking video right after I said that. After I said I was going to bow out, she put me in another video. And then 2 more. So, Jed, there's no getting around it. There ain't no we're going to be friends. Fuck that. I don't like her. She's a liar. She told me to lie. I don't want to be her friend. But I want to let you know, if you don't know the whole story, you're coming off to everybody like you're defending what she's doing because you don't know that she said all these things. But if we're telling you, then you need to go investigate what she said. I'm telling you, I told you she brought you up. I told you everything. And you still
just
sat
now brought it up.
at her table.
But still, I just now found out she said that.
Right, but you don't know everything. And so it looks like you're defending. That's what I'm saying, Jed. You don't know what she's doing. So if you don't know, how can you defend her? If you don't know what she's saying, how can you defend her? I'm gonna drop, but you talk and I'll listen. I have stuff to do.
I want a response from you from this question though.
Okay, go ahead.
How and what have I said that's defending her? I am making a point.
You're making excuses for her behavior by saying she was emotional when she did it. If I'm emotional and I get into a fight with somebody and I take a brick and clobber them upside the head, guess what? They're not going to say, "Hey, Jelly, what you did was emotional. What you did was wrong. You did it on an emotional,
Jelly,
mindset."
Jelly, you
go
gotta
ahead.
let me finish.
That's why I said I would drop down and let you talk, because I know what you're going to say is going to agitate me.
Just mute the mic for a second and let me finish. I'll let you know when I'm done. Trust me, I'll let you know. But
okay, you let me know.
At no point in time have I made an excuse for anyone or anything. I'm not going to make excuses for you, for her, for anyone. All right. I don't even make excuses for myself. I am just laying the work as what possibly could be going on and take into consideration what people don't know is going on in the background, which is why I started off with the day that I went off on Jag. I had a lot of stuff going on. And because all that stuff was going on, I went and fucked up and went off on Jag in an emotional state when it had nothing to do with Jag, but I still did it. So if I can do that in an emotional state, maybe, just maybe, other people, such as yourself, such as Melanie, such as anyone that streams, that they do this. It happens. I'm just saying if there is a possibility to rectify it, or at the very least calm calm the beef down, and y'all just work it out behind the scenes. And this does need to be done behind the scenes, because I feel both sides would feel someone's taking advantage of someone if it's done online. I think it needs to be done on StreamYards when it's not online. I love using StreamYard for that, because fuck, y'all can have a big old meeting, cuss each other out, and none of this shit gets aired. At least my shit don't get aired. I just feel with as much as you put forth for Melanie, with as much as you put forth, it feels like this is a complete about face. This is unlike you. And I know it's because you felt slighted. And you were. You felt slighted and you were. But then again, we don't know what happened. So take the time, if you want to actually talk to her behind the scenes and see if there's anything there. Maybe she'll let you know what was going on. Because I know the whole JR thing and shit like that, that was pretty costly on her, and it fucked her head up. Whether she was right or not doesn't matter. It still messed with her head.
Things mess with my head all the time. I don't do that. You said it should be done behind scenes. I messaged her behind scenes. I told her behind scenes not to put me in this stuff. I wanted out of it. She said I was threatening her by saying, leave me alone and don't put me in this. She said that I was threatening her. No, I have the text. I simply said, Melanie, you know that you're lying. I'm not going to be caught up in this. Leave me alone and don't put me in your show. Very next day, she put me in a show. Did I go out publicly against her? Nope. Not until after she kept putting me in shows more than once. You said that you had an emotional time and everything was bothering you around you, and you went off on Jag. Okay, but you're here apologizing. When Melanie went off on me, this has been several days, a week maybe. Where's my apology from her? Hold her to the same standard you hold yourself then, Jed. Because if you're going to play the Jed standard, you have to hold her to that too. You went off on Jag, you're here apologizing for going off on Jag. If she went off on me and said stuff about me and played voice clips, completely violating the friend contract. When you go and you play private messages between me and you try to make it look like I'm saying something about somebody when I'm not, when it's because you're telling me they're doing you so bad and you're telling me that all this is happening. She said, all this is happening and I don't even know if I can go back to night and day. This is before it all went totally out of, crazy. And what I told her was, Melanie, keep a piece of yourself. Even if you go back to night and day, keep a piece of yourself. That way, if you guys ever fall out, you have that piece of yourself. Don't make them your identity. So she played that on her show. Because then she said, she told me to leave y'all. She told me to leave y'all. I told you to be an independent fucking woman. I told you to fucking be independent from them and make your own way. You had your own channel. I was uplifting you like I did in every other message. Look at what all through the messages. I got you, Melanie. I got you, Mel. I'm so sorry you're going through this, Mel. I haven't even been able to sleep because of this, Mel. I'm so sorry you're so upset. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that you're hurting. And she manipulated that and she used that against me. I called you and I was very emotional whenever I called you and I told you this friendship was done and I told you why.
Yeah, you did.
You can't make excuses for it. If you act in an emotional state, you fucking apologize. This isn't an emotional state. She keeps going. Then IO keeps going. And she keeps mentioning me. I keep going. Dead to shit. When I get on Miss Jones and say I'm done, I'm done. Why'd she keep bringing me up? Why'd she bring me up again? Because she wants to use me as content. She said, I'm trying to use her to come up on my channel. I decided to prolong the release of my channel because I don't want this stuff on me. I don't want people having a view of me. I didn't just go out there and out Melanie. What you need to put into context is that I told the truth about everything I said. I played both sides of those clips. I played what I said and I played what she said. You know what she played? Just what I said, because she's a coward. You know what? If she would have dropped that link, we would never even had this. From the first day she mentioned me to the second live, when she called me all that shit, the first time. If she would have just listened to my Instagram message and left me out of it, I would have never put anything out that she said, because I'm a good friend. I don't do those kinds of things. I don't release personal conversations. I don't do that. But she's not my fucking friend. If she'll use me for her show, use me to hit you up. 1 week I couldn't be there, Jed. And what I tell you, Melanie's going through a real rough time.
Yeah.
If you could be there, that would be great. Can you please just be there for Melanie? And I fell asleep. And you know what I did? I got so upset with myself because I knew she needed me. And I got up and I apologized to her. I'm so sorry that, I didn't make it. I was supposed to be on the panel. I'm sick. I'm sorry about that. I felt bad for not being there for her. But I sent you as a representative because she asked me to send you. She asked me to send you and Jedi over there to help her have a male perspective. She's using me as a liaison to get to everybody else. She's using me to contact everybody else to help her. Yet she doesn't acknowledge me when I say, hey, Melanie, can we work on this interview? Hey, Melanie, can you give me some apps you use? No answer, no response, nothing. She goes on to send me messages about who's going live. And then after that, it's nothing until she starts talking about JR. And then when I bring up anything about myself, she doesn't answer and she goes right back to JR. I'm not here for you just to pour out all your problems and then you don't want to be there for me because you've admitted and you've said I was there 100%. You've admitted and you said that I called you and I told you and I was emotional and upset because she did what she did. But even after that, Jed, I kept my mouth shut. I didn't keep my mouth shut until when I didn't keep my mouth shut was when she went on the live. Before I went on that live is when I talked to you and I told you she needs to leave me out of it. But what I'm saying is you don't know everything she's done. How can you say this can be fixed? It can't.
I say no, anything can. Look, first of all, anything can be fixed. It's how much.
We'll never be friends, though, is what I'm saying. We'll never be friends. I'll never trust her. It's just deaded,
That's fine, but anything can be fixed. It all depends on how much work and effort you want to put into it.
It'll all be fixed with me if she doesn't talk about me. If she doesn't talk about me anymore, I will promise to you I will not talk about her anymore. I promise you.
My big thing is, let me ask you this question. Do two wrongs make a right? Just answer that.
I don't know. Ask her about the first time she did it and then the second time.
I understand.
I'm not wrong. You just said I wasn't. So ask Melanie if two wrongs make a right. Ask her if 1 + 1 is 2.
If two wrongs don't
I didn't do anything wrong. How can that be two wrongs?
But you're calling one thing wrong, right? You're calling one thing wrong, right? And if that thing is wrong, then that has to be wrong across the board. Yes or no?
Okay, I did not release private conversations. She did. So when you release private conversations about me, what do I owe her? What do I owe her, Jed? Just sit there and let her do it? Is that what you want me to do? Just sit there and let her do it?
But
no,
listen,
I'm not going to do that. Let me get off here because I'm getting more mad at you. Just stop. Let me get off here. Say what you need to say because I'm not going to go off on you over her again. I love you. I don't want to do this. But you're sitting at her table and I see that because you keep making excuses for her.
If you need to go off on me.
I do.
If you need to go off on me.
No, not off on you. I'm not going off on you. I'm trying to make you understand. This shit's ridiculous. This shit has caused me stress in my life. Because I'm not like that. You say two wrongs don't make a right. No. First wrong, I opened my mouth and said, hey, leave me out of it. Second wrong, she called me a bitch. She called me all kinds of shit. That's when she got what she got. And I only released a piece of it. Just a fucking piece. And I tried to bow out of it then. Because I proved my point. I cleared my name. Hold on. Okay. I cleared my name. I cleared IO's name because she was lying on IO. And I cleared JR's name. Because she's got all of us looking like we're piece of shit people. So what I did was clearing my name because she said something. That's not a wrong. That's not two wrongs will make it right. First of all, after you did your two wrongs, I made a left, okay? Because we're not friends anymore after you play private clips of me. She's my friend. If it was somebody random and they played my clip, I wouldn't have been so upset. I wouldn't have been like, damn, that's backstabbing me or anything like that. It would have been just like, oh, whatever. If it was in that context, I would have been like, oh, whatever. She got me. She popped me. She played my messages. Everybody knows what it is. But whenever you put those messages into context, you see who it really is. Now, Jen, I'm getting ready to start my channel. She says I'm supposed to be, I'm using her as content. Could I? Sure. Everybody's telling me, go live on your channel, Jelly. I haven't got a Cash App. I haven't got a membership. I haven't got a shit. Nothing to do this. I would not wreck somebody for free. You understand? I only release little pieces, enough that would clear everything. On both sides, like my convo and hers, I released both. So that we could clear IO and JR because I realized what she was doing. What you're not understanding is it was a week. after before everything, when she was going through this with IO, I just refused to talk to her. She didn't say anything to me. I didn't say anything to her because I knew she was lying. And why would I want to hurt somebody that was my quote unquote friend by telling the truth on her? I didn't want to have to do that, but she didn't leave me any choice but to do that, other than she's going to ruin my name and act like I'm talking about the whole sector. I'll tell you who I talked about. I talked about Sammy Neutron, whoever she is. I talked about King World, and nothing else I said about any content creators that I know of was bad. Nothing. And you know why I got mad at those people? Oh, besides IO, I said bad things about IO. But you see, I had to own that shit. I had to own that responsibility. Why? Because I listened to my friend and I went off doing things and I didn't know what was happening. And it caused me and IO to have bad blood between us. She dragged me into this whole thing, getting me fighting with everybody when she did that. It's not right. And you keep saying, I know it's not right. Well, if you know it's not right, stop playing. There's no fixing. I'm telling you. We'll never be friends. Now, can we not hate each other? I told you the way we can not hate each other is whenever she gets, you know what? She said JR lied to me. JR strung me along. JR used me for his content. JR treated me like I was invisible, like I didn't do anything for him. Well, guess what? Melanie lied to me. She strung me along. Melanie used me as her content. Melanie used me as her contact. Melanie used me to fucking fix her show. That's what she said JR did. And JR gave her a public apology. JR gave her a public apology and said, I don't want any more of this. Let this go. Let this die. And I'll give you the apology. Even though he didn't feel like he was wrong, he gave her that apology. Hold her to this. Put her fucking feet to the flame. Ask her, where's your apology? Where's your apology to Jelly? But you won't do that.
Are you feeling, let me ask you a question. Do you feel any better?
I feel a little bit better because I'm going to say what I'm going to say. It doesn't matter. I didn't feel better when I had to do this stuff. But I'm not going to let you sit here and brush over it either. I'm not. I refuse. That's why I'm upset with you. That's why everybody's looking at you like this. She did that. You keep saying she did. When I tell you all these things, what does that say to you? If you're emotional and you apologize, how come she can't do it? If you had an outburst and did that. If you're emotional and you apologize, how come she can't stop talking about me? How come she keeps it going? How come every time I say I'm done and I bow, okay, you're different people, so understand that I'm different too. I'm not going to allow somebody to run my name. Tell me, why should I trust her? How can I fix it? I want you. I'm gonna shut up. You tell me how I can fix this, and I'll listen. I want to know.
I'm personally showing you. I understand your side, and I'm letting you voice your opinion. And I'm letting you voice everything that you got.
Okay, but let's go back to how we can fix it. You said, oh, it can be fixed. And I told you how we can fix it is she stops talking about me, period. That's all she has to do. And I won't talk about her. But the next time she talks about me, I'm going to play the real shit that's going to hurt her. And that's all I'm going to say. Because I'm getting even more frustrated with you right now. And I don't want to. Because like I said, I love you. I love you. Because you're not seeing it, Jed. You do this all the time. You don't see what you're doing. You're too nice. You don't understand. She's using you to get on that show. She's using you to get up there and go and do what she needs to do because she can't carry it by herself. Have you not noticed that she's had co-hosts almost every time that she's went live now? Because she doesn't have Jelly in her corner anymore. Because she knows that she has you sitting at her table. She has you that she can use for Melanie After Dark sitting at her table. How many times you asked her to play that song, Jed? How many times? Did she get back with you? Nah. Did she play it? Nah. Because she don't care about you. If you would have said, hey, this is a song I got, you know what I'm saying? My friend did it for me or whatever, and it's about Jag. You know what I would have done? I would have called you up on panel and said, oh, Electro Jed wants to play this song that his friend wrote. You know what I'm saying? And you would have been up there. If she valued you the way she should, because you're over there co-hosting her show as much as you are, if she valued you don't think she should have done that? You think that it's okay for her to turn your friends against you and turn everybody against you? No, she's doing that. And you not knowing the story is what's making it like look that way, Jed. Because if you don't know, you can't, you know?
I know what I see. When I see something and something is brought to me and I can find out what's going on and I have to confront something about something with somebody about that particular thing, I do it every time. I always do it backstage.
Can we clear the air though? Are you sitting at her table? Just clear the air. Just say what table you're sitting at. Are you sitting at my table, her table, or are you sitting at Electro's table? Whose table?
Hold on a second. Don't stay right there, babe. Okay, hold on. Give me a second here. Oh shit! I forgot I had it off. Son of a bitch. The person's table that I sit at, and I'm going to make this abundantly clear, is mine and my wife's table. I
Thank
will
you.
help.
That's all I wanted. Thank
I,
you.
I will always help friends out. I will always lend a hand out. If I'm capable of doing it, and I'm capable to help fix something, I'll do it.
Are
No
you
matter
willing to
how
give up
much.
our friendship based on Melanie? Are you willing to give up our friendship because she's using you?
The only one that keeps mentioning our friendship is you. You don't have
Yes,
to worry
because
about me. You don't have to
I don't
worry
have to
about
worry about
using my.
you.
So don't use the fact that somebody that Jelly is worried that Jed is over in Melanie. Don't worry about that
No,
because
she shouldn't have
I'm
said you
always.
sat there. You don't understand why people are mad at you, Jed. You say you don't understand why everybody's turned against you. What I'm trying to tell you is she's the reason everybody turned against
I
you.
no. First of all, I didn't say I don't understand why people are turned against me.
You
The
did.
whole
You said you didn't know that was said, right? You said you didn't know that was
No. I
said.
didn't know that was said. You're right. I didn't know
Okay, so
that.
she weaponized you, Jed. I
She's
never said, "Hey, Electro Jed." I never mentioned your name, Jed.
but
Never.
I am always going to, I give people chances all the time because
You can do that.
I was given so many breaks in my life that if I don't do the same and I don't pay it forward, I feel like I failed. Now, that being said, stop worrying about whose table I'm at because I'm always going to be your friend. And I'll
Tell
say
Melanie to
that
stop worrying
clearly.
about whose
I,
table you're
I'm
at. Don't let
going to
her
say
don't
that
let
to
her get on
everyone.
lives with everybody watching. Thousands of people watching. She gets on a live and she says you sit at her table. Thank you for choosing me and sitting at my table. I didn't make you choose. She did. She did. And you want me to be the better person. Fuck that, Jed. I love you. I'm getting off of here. I think you're making a mistake, but that's just my opinion. I'm always going to love you, Jed. I'm not going to let Melanie take our friendship, but I am upset with you. I am disappointed in you. I expect more from you because you know the whole story on my end. You know I called you upset and not wanting to hurt my friend. You know I called you upset because of how she was acting.
And
And you know
because
that
you're
I was
acting the
emotional
way you're
because I
acting,
was her friend.
listen.
I was her friend. That's why it
And
hurt me like it did.
Because you're acting the way you're acting is why I feel something is salvageable because you're hurting for what she did.
What I
And
need to salvage is my
when
own
you
name because
lose
she
a
don't care
friend,
about my name.
but listen, when you lose a friend in the way that you feel you lost a friend, it fucking hurts. This is why I would try to salvage it. But you don't want to salvage, it's fine. That's on you don't have to. But I can hear the hurt in your voice. Everyone can hear the hurt in
I'm
your voice.
tired of it. I'm sick of it. Do you not understand that? I tried not to hurt her. Do you not understand that? And still she kept pushing me. Jelly's not like that. Jelly don't go and get personal conversations between her friends. How would you like it if I took a clip of something you said that didn't make you look very good at all? And I posted that shit when you asked me to leave you alone. You asked me to leave you alone. You say, Jelly, you know what? You're lying to me and shit like that. Don't try to dirty delete shit. You know what? Just leave me alone. I would have
If it
left you.
was
I might have
if
cussed
it
you. I
was
might have
me,
cussed
I
you
would
out in your
bring it to you.
Instagram message. If I might have cussed you out in your Instagram message, but I definitely wouldn't have played anything personal between our friendship. That's the difference. You're trying to be a good friend. You're trying, and I get that. And you can be friends with her. But when she's weaponizing you, and then you wonder why I'm upset with you, it's because I went to you in a totally different manner. I didn't go to you using you as a middleman. I went to you as my friend privately and said, Jed, she's doing this and this and this, and it's bothering me. I said, Jed, she's doing XYZ, and I'm losing sleep over it because she keeps on. And you expect me to be the parent. You're emotional. Yeah, I am emotional because I don't like being who she made me embarrasses me. Because she told me JR did all these things that she lied about. I was a friend to her, told her to be independent, told her to do what she needed to do. You can't ever tell me in any realm there's no excuse. I did go to her privately. That's what you're skipping over. I did try to go privately. I did. Everything you're saying, I tried to do all those things. Point out one that I didn't try to do. I said, stop talking to me, period. That doesn't mean go put me on a damn blast and put it into bad context. Thinking that she deleted all the messages. because she tried it, and I have the screenshots of that. My other phone was left open on her messages somehow, and whenever it timed out, it glitched. So on one phone, all of the messages we have is 1 minute and 42 seconds of screen grabs, just running it on a screen record. The next one, the one that I have, is 3 minutes and 40 something seconds.
All right, let me ask you this: do you think that she has heard any of these thoughts that you let out now?
Yes.
Do you think
Yes.
that
She
she has
heard that.
actually
Yes. I said that. I said it. I've said it every time I've said anything about her. I have always made it like this. I've always said, Melanie, I would not be doing this if you would just leave me alone, girl. Then Genesis is getting up there caping for her. I don't want other people to go through what she put me through, sitting there defending Melanie, because she doesn't like Genesis. She talks shit about Genesis. And here's Genesis throwing herself on a sword for Melanie. Everybody that's throwing themselves on a sword, Goomba, she talked about him too. Everybody. She's not a good person. She's not a victim. She continues to do this. She's getting cash apps off this, Jed. I'm not. She's getting super chats off my name. I'm not. If I wanted to be that way, wouldn't I start my own channel and just have a fuck Melanie channel? You think I couldn't do that with everybody watching? You think I couldn't play all 2 hours of the clips? You think I couldn't? I could. I don't, but I could.
How many times have I told you, stop waiting for shit, just do it?
And I did. I get that. But if you're telling me to help you with your channel and give you guests, give you ideas, literally she's asking me, what can we talk about today? What should I make my poll question? Literally everything. Every single thing. She want to call me the white devil. You want to talk about racist? That's not racist, because black people can't be racist, because white people are primary, the majority. So black people can't be racist, but they can be prejudiced. And that's exactly what she is. She called me a fucking white devil. You sitting here worried about some swamp cooler or whatever the hell you said. I don't know what it was. I didn't catch that part. I didn't hear that. But does it not apply? Is it not the same? You understand? You're here. You're clearing your name. Do you think I'm not going to clear mine? You think if she's going to talk about me on a personal level and address it in a public light, that I'm not going to address her back in a public light when I try to be private, Jed? Everything you're telling me to do, I tried, Jed. I tried it.
If you tried everything you possibly could, if you tried everything, if you're saying you used all avenues, then you have nothing to feel bad about. So I'm not.
I feel bad because you're my friend and I love you, and she's turning you against me.
Listen, don't feel bad about me. If I make my bed, I'm gonna end up lying.
I don't like people coming at you, Jed. Do you understand that I'm in a situation now where she's lied on me so much?
Hold on
I know.
I want to make a point. There's somebody in the panel right now, Slugger Sam. This motherfucker.
Hi, Slugger. Hello.
This motherfucker has come at me every direction, and I can still sit down and have a talk with him.
But you're not a female. You're not a female. Women don't do that. We don't.
I don't, and that's a big part of maybe my problem, is because it doesn't matter to me if you're male or female. I think problems can be worked out. Now, if you
we do react differently, though.
Yeah, you do. Women and men do react differently. But if you truly feel you cannot, you can't take care of this privately, you've done everything, then don't feel bad.
Women are
First of all, don't worry about me.
Women are fucked up. They're all fucked up.
No, Slugger, this is not the time. Money. Slugger, not the time. Not the time, brother.
This is what I'm talking about. People are popping in saying this stuff. I'm having a conversation with you. They keep on trying to pop in here and say dumb shit. You see what I'm saying? This is just a game to everybody else. It's a game to everybody else but me. It's a game to everybody but me, Jed.
This is not a game.
I came to actually agree with you. That was just my icebreaker. So I do want to, if I can put in my 2 cents. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but I want to say this to Jed. And I love you, Jed. I love you because you're my brother. But every time the guy that gets provoked wants to be a human and just retaliate a little bit, you always have to do this education about being the bigger person. You do it every single time, Jed. I love you, and I'm not going to sit here and ruin you guys' conversation. But I overheard the lady, and I can put myself in her shoe on how she's feeling, because you've done this to me before, Jed.
Yeah, I know what
But
you're
carry
talking
on,
about.
carry on. I just wanted to say.
I know the situation you're talking about exactly. But then I also showed you, like I showed her, that I'm not infallible. This is why I try to set forth the message. Try not to do it emotional. It's not that you can't. Everyone's going to fuck up. I fuck up more than most people, you know. But if you can put forth the message and try to work things out, then do so if you can. If you don't want to, then don't. No one's wrong in this. Well, actually, I'm not going to say no one's wrong. I'm going to say this infallibly. Jelly, you're not wrong for feeling the way you feel whatsoever. You're not wrong for feeling the way you
If
feel.
I wasn't wrong for it, Jed, you shouldn't let her continue to weaponize you against me. Because she's
And
making our friendship suffer for it, Jed, by saying those
now
things. You
that
think
I
she's not
know,
weaponizing you? Answer me that.
wait,
Is she
and
not?
now
Hold on. Is that not using you? Is that not weaponizing you to go and make a broadcast that you sit at her table and you're picking her side and you're slighting your friend that loves you? Does that not hit you? What don't you understand about I tried? What don't you
and,
understand about I
and I
messaged her
will.
private?
And now that I know this little bit of information, I am going to have a discussion with her and ask her very politely, very respectfully, please don't do that because I adore Jelly. It's
Thank
that
you. That's
simple.
all I want. That's all you needed to do. But that's what I'm saying, Jed. If you knew she said that, if you knew,
If I
you
knew,
don't
I
know.
didn't know
You
until now.
don't know.
And
Right.
trust
So
me,
your opinions and your views and what you're saying and how you're following in her chat and what you're doing because you don't know these things, because you didn't watch back what everybody said or something, because you don't know that, she's weaponizing you against this whole sector. She's going to make everybody hate you. Haven't you seen that? Haven't you seen everybody coming at you? Haven't you seen everybody talking shit to you about you? You think I don't want to jump in and say, hey, don't fucking talk about my
yeah,
friend
people
like
are
that?
coming at
Because
me.
I do. Because
They,
I do. But they're coming at you because of her.
well, actually, they're coming at me
It's because
because
you said you sit at her table. She said that. I mean, it's because she said you sit at her table. Then when you go up on her panel saying, "Oh, work this out," or like things that you say or in her comments or whatever, everybody's watching it because they know she sits at your table or you sit at her table.
I
She
sit at
said
my
that you
table.
sit there.
I sit at my table.
Yes,
And I
exactly.
invite
Everybody should sit at their own
yeah,
table.
I sit at my table and I invite everyone is invited to my table unless you get out of hand. And that's
Jedi's
how it
my
is.
friend. You know what he told me to do? He told me to leave it alone. And I tried whenever, and and I talked to him, and I went back and forth like I can't do this shit. This shit's bothering me. All of this. And Jedi was like, you have to do whatever you have to do to clear your name, and I understand it. I'm your friend. I'm gonna be there for you. You should understand that, and you should be there for me. And I'm not saying you have to be like Jedi. I'm explaining this is what happened because he knows what's going on. He's seen all of these things. So Jedi wouldn't get up here and tell you anything about Jelly if Jedi didn't know everything that was going on. Now that you know what's going on, maybe your trajectory will be different. She's weaponizing you, not me. When people talk about you, it bothers me. And that's how you know I love your ass, because it bothers me, and I just sit there quiet. Like Jed put this on himself. Jed brought this on himself. Letting
And
her
that's
say
the
she's at his
right thing
table
to
and
do, though.
everything.
But that
No,
what
but
you say
I
right
still
there,
hurt. You're my friend. I still hurt. I don't like people to talk about you. I would
and
defend you in your presence and in your absence.
here's the thing.
100%.
I'm the same way. But
But
if
that
I'm
doesn't
gonna go
show in this
no,
conversation.
no, but I will talk to you in private before I make any public announcements about I'm gonna step up for her. Because a lot of people, myself included, don't like it when people, defend them. Yeah, I've had people defend me. Alonzo Amazing did it all the time, and he would get into so many fucking arguments and fights and disagreements with people because he constantly protected me and he constantly, looked out for
And I
me.
don't even know Alonso, and I don't. Alonso
I
doesn't
know,
like me,
but
but
and I
that's the thing.
told
I
him,
don't know him, and I can say, you know what? He was your friend, though. He was upset for you, though. He
yeah,
didn't like
and I
people
told him,
talking
but
about you. You
yeah,
can
I
say
know
leave it alone, but that doesn't mean anything. If you see,
because
if you
I
see
don't
her
want
getting up there
other
talking
people.
about me, are you going to say something to her? Are you going to say, Melanie, stop talking about Jelly? Are you going to do the same things to me? Because we're closer friends. That's why, Jed. You feel like you can tell me things like that because you know I'll listen to you and I love you and we're very close. You're saying that this thing is like blah, 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 XYZ. I'm telling you, if you sit at your own table, stay there, please. I
I
don't
will
want you
stay there.
in this. I love you. I don't want you in this. Please. I don't want to have to be fighting with you. And that's what's going to make it wind up happening. You're
I
not
will never, I
understanding
will
both
never
sides
let it
because you
come
don't
to.
know the information. But it's
I
coming
will.
to that because I'm upset with you and I'm hurt with you. And it is coming to that. I told you yesterday or the day before I didn't even want to talk to you because I was hurt with you. And that hurt me to say that.
And you are allowed to be upset with me, and you could be mad at me. That doesn't mean I'm gonna clap back because you feel
Yeah,
your love
okay,
is in
but
your
I
right,
didn't go expose your
and that's
personal
okay.
messages. If you talked about Melanie and I went and clipped you and played that and you were talking about it, because let's say I just poisoned you against Melanie. I just told you all horrible things about her. And then you were answering back to what I was saying, trying to be a supportive person, trying to be a friend, trying to, you know what I'm saying, make her like have some independence and strength to get through this. I was going to help her through this. She did nothing but try to make me content, Jed. I was going to help her through this. But whenever you lie consistently, that's one thing. You can't expect me to lie for you. You can't expect me to lie for you. And that's what she wanted. So whenever I play those clips, Jed, you're acting like I'm outing her and two wrongs don't make a right. But here's the catch, Jed. I played everything I said too. I
Yes,
didn't
you
just
did.
play what Melanie said.
Yeah,
I
I
played
heard that.
everything I said. So that's me taking responsibility. That's people looking at me like, damn, you talking behind backs. No, see, the thing with me is I'll say it to your face. If I'm talking to my friend, I might say something about you. Okay? My friend doesn't have the right to go clip that if you're the one that's telling me all that shit to make me feel that way. I owned it. I apologized to IO. I apologized to JR. And I said I should have never listened to her telling me all those things without finding out for myself what was going on. You should never listen to Melanie without listening to everything that's going on because she's doing the same thing she did to me to you. She's weaponizing you a million times over. I apologize. I put my half of the conversation out there. Somebody mentioned boxing and sucking dick. Let me tell you, I'll box her ass all day. We can street fight. I don't care. Okay? But ain't nobody sucking your dick, boo boo, unless it's her. Definitely ain't me, baby. I have a husband. So don't even play these games in the chat like this ain't serious because this is my friendship with Jed that I love.
Sweetheart,
Now that's why I don't want to be up here playing these
our
games because
friendship is
everything you're
not.
saying, it is damaged because I don't trust you no more.
Well,
I
sweetheart,
don't trust you, Jed.
then it's up to me to
There's a
to earn your trust
reason.
back.
There's a reason.
Then
There's
it's
a
up to me
reason
to
why.
then it's up to me to earn your trust back. But
You want me to tell you how you can do that? Don't say shit. Just say, I'm on my table, period. Leave it alone. And if I'm telling you, if she comes up here right now, this very second, we'll dead this shit right here. What are you not understanding about that? We'll do right here. She talked about me. She would not drop a link and let me defend myself. How is that right? First of all, you play our private messages. Then whenever you play our private messages and I try to get up there and defend myself because you're lying, you don't want to drop a link. Anybody who's telling the truth, anybody who's standing on their righteousness will drop a link. You know how many panels I've called her out on? Links were dropped. It ain't about attacking her. I told her I'd hit her own motherfucking link. But you know what she'll do? She'll just yell over me and mute me and drop me down when I start to make points about her. So you're right. There is no real neutral ground. Unless you want me to go live and just play all the 2 hours of video, that would be the only thing. And I don't want to do that. But I will if it keeps going. I'm telling you that now. And I said to IO and I said to JR and I said to everybody, I don't want to continue to hurt Melanie. IO and JR wanted all the clips of everything she said. Clips where she's crying, begging, upset. You know what I'm saying? Like just continuously going on, just like a crazy person. But I felt bad as a woman for her. I had compassion in my heart for her. I didn't want her to hurt like that. So it was easy to poison me against JR, a man. But it wasn't true. JR showed that it wasn't true. IO showed that it wasn't true. They proved that. So I gave them an apology. So don't act like I'm not doing the diplomatic thing or whatever the case is. I apologized to who I said bad things about. I aired out everything, not just one side. I've done nothing but defend myself. And I'm going to continue to defend myself. And it's going to get to a point where it's going to rage out of control. All she has to do is leave me alone. Why can't she get on a panel right now? Why? You know she's watching you. Why isn't she getting on a panel and clearing this shit? If she wanted it to end, she'd stop playing clips of me. If she wanted it to end, she would stop doing that, wouldn't she? Wouldn't she? If she wanted it to end, she didn't want to fight with me. Wouldn't she stop talking about me? She was getting cash apps on me. Do you know that?
If
People
it
were
was
like,
me,
"Oh, what does
if
Jelly
it,
have to say?" Then she got
if
cash
it
apps
was
for
me,
it. I don't
I
get
would
cash
do it.
apps. Oh.
If it were me, I would always take care of the behind the scenes because this is something that's personal. Honestly,
Right, but your apology for this in this sector is public, and that's why I asked for the link, because you're apologizing and this is public, and this is a public forum. You know what I'm saying, like where you're at. So that's why I hit the link and didn't talk to you about it privately, because you're not going to sit here and look like no dumbass without knowing the whole situation. You can't go to bat for somebody, because I look like a dumbass, Jed. I look stupid. I lost contacts that I have, because I lost contacts that I could have whenever I start my channel, because she played me out of context. Now these people are all thinking I'm talking about them. It's ruining my reputation, whenever really it was her. And all I did was respond to her as a friend. If somebody's doing something bad to you, right, and you tell me, hey, XYZ is doing this to piss me off, then I would have been like, that's not right. And I wouldn't go let XYZ tell me that I was sitting at their table. I would make it very clear. She wouldn't think you were sitting at your table if she, A, wasn't trying to weaponize you, or B, wasn't trying to use you to continue to do what she's doing, which is her harassing me, not the other way around. So she continues on. She's already cost me people that I could have contacts with in my sector where I'm at heavy. And now our friendship is in jeopardy because of this. This bitch is cray cray, and I can't wait. I'm telling you. When you see it, you're going to see it.
Listen, I got to close out because I forgot that.
Yes.
Me and Mel and Katie got to go someplace for a meeting. The whole thing.
Okay, I love you.
Emotional
I love you. Like I said, I love you. I know you're going through stuff in your personal life, okay? And I love you, and I don't want to fight with you. Just please don't put my name in nothing. If she's talking about me, then you play the same peacemaker you're playing with her. Hey, Jelly didn't do anything. Don't talk about Jelly like that. Then maybe she won't think you sit at her table.
Hold on 1 second. Somebody just showed up, and then I got to go. What's up, TY?
TY, hey, baby.
What's up, baby? Man, what I missing, bro? I finally caught you. What is going on up in here? Let me get up in this shit, man.
Wait, TY, I got some personal stuff I got to take care of that I got to go and take care of, because this is life changing.
You finna get off?
I'm going to get off, but I'm going to be back on later on because I got to talk to a couple of people.
Man, you should keep this bitch on, man. Let me hold this shit down.
Let me and TY talk, yeah.
Let me hold this shit down, Jed. Just keep it on.
TY, I would, but I can't do that now because I got to shut everything down. Everything down. You got to understand.
TY, go live. Go live, TY.
Everybody put my live up in this motherfucker and y'all follow me. Jed, make sure you come up when you get back, baby, because I ain't talked to you in a while.
All right, brother.
All right, here I come. I'm going to start it up. All right,
I'm finna go over there.
Hey, put my shit out in the chat for all the people that don't know about my shit.
Please.
Go ahead. Tell them to come over. All right, I'm coming.
Please drop the link, Jed. Thank you. We're done with this, Jed. As long as you just leave it be and you don't take a side and you really remain neutral and you're not letting them weaponize you, we're done. Do you understand that? I'm done fighting with you. I love you. I don't want to. And all I'm telling you is we're done. We are. It is fighting to me. But listen, deaded. I'm just telling you, this will stop. I'm telling you, this will stop right now. This will stop. As long as she doesn't talk about me, I won't talk about her. She keeps talking about me, she's going to get whatever she gets. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. So I'm saying I called her out here. I've called her out at Jedi's channel. I've called her out everywhere. If she's too much of a coward to hit a link, she's a grown woman. How come she can't hit a link and defend what she's doing? How come she can't drop one so I can defend myself? Don't you think it's cowardly to talk about somebody and not drop a link? Because, for example, you know I'm upset with you, but you still dropped a link when I asked for it, though. So I could say my side. Because that's what should happen.
Sweetheart, not everybody does that.
Right, Jed, so don't expect me out of you or you out of me, because not everybody does that. She's ruining my contacts in my sector. And I'm owning everything I did. But I gotta go. I love you.
Pull up TY. Wait, pull up TY's link because I don't have it on my saved. Pull up his link and throw it out there.
Let me grab it real quick.
Yeah. I got women behind me that are going to beat me with a chancla if I don't get going. Jelly's gonna throw down the link to TY's channel. Go over there. They're gonna keep up the conversation, and I will be back. We're in about 3 or 4 hours, hopefully. I know I had his channel up here. Is it this one? Got it. All right. Here's TY's channel. Copy. Go meet them over there. Ain't nobody blocked from my channel. What the hell's wrong with you? All right, guys. I'll see y'all later. Peace out. Much love.